What's going on, guys? You are selfish if you're satisfied with making $10,000 a month. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, oh, I don't need that fast car. I don't need that big mansion. I don't need a fancy diamond watch. Okay. Some of you might be satisfied with just a small house in the countryside or a car that gets you from point A to point B and just enough money to cover your monthly bills and expenses, right? But you have to realize that by saying all of those things, you're really only thinking of just yourself. You need to realize that if you actually think about it, you need to think about how much your wife, your family, your parents, your friends could benefit from all of the money you make. And the less money you make, the less you'll have to provide for other people. Now, this doesn't mean you have to just give out your money to everybody with like Robin Hood type mentality. No. But you just have to realize that your community and everyone around you could benefit so much by your influence. Think about how you could influence your local area, your small little city. Maybe you've grown up there. Maybe you've been living there for 30, 40 years. You were born there. And there's things you want to change. There's things that you think could be better. Maybe the public school system isn't as good in your area. Maybe the worldview that they push on students or teachers or everybody in your community is not fitting to your worldview, right? You have to realize that all of these things can only be influenced with money. And if you make just enough money to cover not even your needs, your wants, your desires, that's only for you, right? It won't help your family as much. It won't help your friends or your partner or your community. And again, this doesn't mean that people are entitled to your money. This doesn't mean you have to give away your money with nothing in return. But the more you benefit other people, and this goes both ways, the more you benefit yourself, the more other people benefit as well. And then the more other people benefit from you, you also benefit because people become better. People start fitting your mentality, your community desires, right? And you have to realize that to be extremely selfless, you have to be extremely selfish, right? No one can provide benefit to other people if they don't have value intrinsically already. So you building yourself, you reaching new highs of income is what will allow you to benefit other people the most. People sometimes talk about politics a lot. They talk about elections. They talk about politicians, people they don't like, influencers, whoever, right? And people complain a lot. People are like, oh, how dare this president do that? How dare this local politician do that? It shouldn't be like this. It should be like that. Whatever it is, right? And you have to realize that the only way you can actually influence those things is with money. Now, I'm not saying you have to be some maniacal, power-hungry billionaire that's trying to buy politicians and be evil about it. No, but you have to realize that every politician essentially is lobbied with money. And that doesn't mean it's a bad thing, right? Because the people that have the most money provide influence to those politicians, and they get those politicians to fit their worldview. So you could do this for good, right? It doesn't have to be a bad thing. But every power struggle and politician can be influenced with money. And all those times you complain, it's essentially completely useless. You're just wasting your time. You're just doing it to express your opinions. But at the end of the day, if not everybody's going to riot every single day, right? People can't do that. They have to afford food. They have to afford basic living expenses. And people are stuck to the point where maybe they'd want to riot or something, but they can't because they need to afford to live. And they have to work. So if they don't work, they lose their job, right? And then they have no money to provide for their families. So you have to realize that everybody that just complains is kind of just shouting out into a black hole. And the only people that can really influence positive change is with money. And if you don't do it, someone else will do it. And maybe some of those people won't have positive ideas. Maybe they won't have positive worldviews like you do. Maybe they'll be negative. Maybe they'll be evil. Maybe they'll be super greedy to the point where it is a whole net negative on the world. And if you don't step up to make more money and to reclaim that power struggle, the negative person will, right? You have to realize that making more money is not just for you. It's not just for cars. It's not just for flashy stuff, materialistic things. It's for benefiting the world in ways you probably couldn't imagine when you were a little kid. And if you guys have any similar opinions on this, or if you have any ideas or thoughts of what you would implement or what you would do if you did have ridiculous amounts of money, I'd love to hear it. And remember, it doesn't have to be on the world stage, because every change, whether it's local or municipal, carries its way up, right? Because let's say every city has a multimillionaire, right? That has a positive worldview that benefits the community. If every city has at least one of them, they don't need to change the world by themselves. One person can change one city, one person can change one neighborhood, one person can change another city, right? And then it's a ripple effect. So I really want you guys to think about that. And if you have any ideas of what you would do, or if you agree with this, or if you disagree, I'd love to hear your comments down below. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the Overemployed Masterclass if you haven't already. There we teach you how to become and how to stay overemployed. We also offer one-on-one personalized coaching to suit your needs. So check that out as well. If you have any questions, send an email out to reply@overemployed.ca, which you can also find on the Gumroad page. And I'll see you guys later.